the lovely tones of Steven Crowder.
I think you've got a confession to make. What Trump was making America great.
Oh, this is good. You're done, Tim Pool.
Yeah, Tim Cass, you thought you had shit on Steven Crowder, dude. You didn't know about his Foo Fighters parodies.
Oh, I got eagle bumps right now, Danny.
Eagle bumps.
Yeah.
Oh, welcome everybody. Hope you don't mind the Steven Crowder in the background today. We have Dalton Pruitt with us tonight, folks. It will be his it's his second stop on the Clout route, okay? Last time we had such a good time, the audience was thrilled, and I've been being begged and asked relentlessly on Discord, tagged on Discord.
Yes.
To have Dalton Pruitt back on the show. So welcome, Dalton. Nice to see you, buddy.
Hello. Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
So yeah, I had to start with some. I mean, the guy that's in the Crowder Boys. I had to start with some.
Yes.
Crowder tunes, right?
Yeah. Sometimes at this point, our show's called the Crowder Boys. It's almost like such an abstraction, the name, that I forget that there is like actually Steven Crowder. That's like where we. That's kind of where we came up with the idea, was just making fun of guys like that.
If the Crowder trio was Crowder, Brian Callen, and who's the other guy that's
I don't know. I don't really know.
Jim Brewer.
Oh, yeah.
If those are the three, Dalton, out of the Crowder Boys, which one are you?
Which one am I? Oh, dude. I guess I would hope that I'm Jim Brewer, because he at least at some point did something decent. He did Goat Boy. He was in Half Baked.
He did comedy at
AC/DC
one
does
point.
the hokey pokey was phenomenal. I love that.
Yes, Metallica does the hokey pokey.
Metallica,
Jesus Christ, dude.
Oh, but no, it's great to have you, Dalton. It's been a long time, so we got a lot to talk about. It's funny, over the course of the, like few months it's been since we had you on last time, I had to go back and revisit some of the Dalton centric clips that we've seen over the course of the couple months I could bring to you and we could watch.
Sure. Yeah, there's been a lot of podcasts that have happened. So much has changed. Everything has changed.
Everything has changed.
I think I've gained more weight.
No, you're looking good, dude. You embarrassed me with the with your fucking hair there, dude. Your head full of hair. Did you diet or something?
No, people keep asking me that. I would never dye my hair. I just washed it. Like, this is Head and Shoulders, so maybe it gave it some shine. Yeah. No, if I ever start to go gray or bald or whatever, I would just accept it, because the denial of that, like the trying to fight against it, looks worse than just doing it.
Well, yeah, exactly. Once it starts going, you just have to come home, because otherwise
nothing you can do.
Yeah, like when you see a guy who's been like kind of you see him like starting to go gray, and then one day he just has jet black hair. Like, this is demonstrably worse. This is so like noticeable what you're trying to do that it is like more embarrassing.
Do you think that one of us would be, because one of the things I've heard from people in the audience is finally they're going to have somebody funny on the show.
Oh, nice.
Do you think they would do you think we would be funnier if, like, I'm trying to think of the guy's name. Do you watch Kill Tony ever at all?
Occasionally, yeah. Because I just found forgot about this. We just highlighted this on my podcast that my co-host did Kill Tony like 5 years ago.
I watched that. I watched that show actually.
Yeah,
Where you guys
yeah.
are watching his set and everything. Yeah.
I forgot that when that show was not as big as it is now, that they would tour clubs, and they came through Dallas Fort Worth a couple times. I totally forgot that he'd even done it.
That's sweet. And I mean, yeah, his set wasn't even that bad either. He did.
He's very funny. Like it's a shame. Like life gets in the way of so many things that like he is not doing stand up right now. But I always thought he was a hilarious guy, and that shows through like the podcast we do. And anytime he's come on the Crowder Boys, like people are finding him and being like, "Who is this guy?" He's like he's funny, and I'm like, there's a lot of guys like this, but they are not psychopaths who try to climb the entertainment ladder. They just like have families and are nice people.
Right. But there's a guy on Kill Tony. He's a regular, and he's like this ginger dude with a skullet. Basically, he's got the skull thing, and then it's like long. It's the Larry David, except it's red and long.
Oh, dude,
like a Celtic warrior is what you're saying. Okay,
the Celtic warrior. And well, first off,
Badass.
I could, my Irish heritage, I might be able to, or Kevin's, camera tint might be able to swing the color. So, and we just got to start working on growing out the hair, Kevin. I think one of us.
No, I don't know. I don't really keep up with the show. I remember when it first started years ago. I found it and I would listen to it. Like this was back when like Kim Congdon was doing the open mic, like before she blew up. And I thought it was like a neat idea for a show. I had no clue who any of these people were. And then as the years have gone on, I'm like, and their true selves have been revealed. It's not a show I'm particularly a fan of. But I will admit I did pay attention to it like when it first started, when I was like starting to do open mics. But I have no clue who's doing it now. It seems like it's been a great opportunity for not particularly funny people to get careers.
They had fucking they don't even really have comedians on all the time. Like they had Jordan Peterson on.
Jordan Peterson, Tucker Carlson.
I want to see Ric Flair cry and preach to everyone about the dangers of alcoholism. That's what I like to watch.
I bet it's like being on the panel, like getting to sit at the table is a great time if you're like shit hammered drunk. I'm sure that's fun. Like it looks like Shane is having a good time.
Right.
But it looks like a nightmare fucking situation if you're an open micer who thinks that this is gonna like pan out.
Right, like your first. I've seen some of these people go up for their first times, and it's like, oh my god, I don't think you deserved that.
Yeah, it's really bizarre to combine like the worst elements of Shark Tank with the worst elements of Last Comic Standing.
Like I never really thought about it that way.
Yeah, where how sometimes on Shark Tank somebody will come in with like a pitch and they're like nervous or their product sucks and they just get torn to shreds by those people. So it's like that. That's basically what's happening on Kill Tony, but then it's also like a talent competition where I guess in that way it's like any talent show, but it also gives me like a Shark Tank vibe because Tony is also as much of a sociopath as Mark Cuban and Dennis. What's the guy's name? Dennis O'Leary or Kevin O'Leary?
Yeah, I hate one of my least favorite Kevins. I mean, they all got to go.
Dennis O'Leary,
one, but yeah, who calls himself Mr. Wonderful?
Mr. Wonderful,
Get the fuck out of here, dude. I hate that guy.
At least he keeps. Well, does he? Now I can't really remember. Is that a chrome dome or does he wear the?
No, he's got the horseshoe deal going.
Horseshoe.
Yeah, he wants to intimidate you with those last little shreds of hair. He's like, "That's how rich I am. I don't even shave my whole head. I let this bullshit grow."
I wish I was that kind of guy. Like I've always wanted to understand money and business and just be like a guy who's rich enough that my career is just being a guy who talks about money. You know what I mean? Like to do well enough in business and life that you get to a point where now you're like making tons of money just talking to people about money. You get paid for that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I've seen his ads before where he's like, "Hey, Columbus, I'm coming to you." It's like as if he's having a stand-up special, and it's just he's taking your money so he can go on stage and tell you how rich he is. And
Yeah.
if you sign up for his course, at some point down the line, you might also make money. And it's like, God damn, this dude just gets to go in and be like Tony Robbins and just hype some people up, and he gets paid to go do that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That's a great career. You get to wear nice suits, go to nice restaurants. That would be awesome, dude.
Right.
It's easy to hate these guys when you're poor. Like when you're in my position and you're fucking like frying bologna in a pan, you're like, God, fuck Kevin O'Leary. Dude, I hate that's what I'm thinking about all day is like I hate Mr. Wonderful. But if I had just like if I was making like a low six figures every year, I'd be like, you know what? I think he knows something. Like
he's got some good ideas.
Yeah, if I was still nowhere close to even being wealthy, but still making more money, I'd be like, you know what? I really respect that guy. I think he's got a lot of good ideas. Like, so if I was actually rich, if I was wealthy, I would easily be converted and be like, you know what? Rich people are awesome. They're all great. Because I am rich as well. And having money is cool.
That's how you make more money, I guess, when you get there, though. It's like somehow when they start talking about that shit and going on about how lavish their lifestyle is, they quadruple their wealth.
Well, yeah.
Gary Vee has the best setup, dude. You pay him, I think, $10,000 for a one-on-one to pitch your idea to him. And if he likes it, he'll give you some investment money, usually like $10,000. So like if your idea sucks, he just made bank. And if he likes your idea, he just gives you your money back. And if that ain't the best business model I've ever heard of, I don't know what is.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it really is like, like networking is probably the most important aspect of business. You know, they say it's your network, not your net worth. Right. Yeah. So if you surround yourself with extremely wealthy people and just hang out with them all the time, then I guess maybe there's like some transitive property where you start to you just intuitively understand business and money, and then you also become rich.
We need to get on that.
I don't know. There's a lot of truth to like networking and like soft skills, because it's like I know plenty of people nowadays who did the things they were told they were supposed to do, which is like learn to code or develop some sort of skill set, and they worked in a field for a number of years making decent money, and now they're all getting laid off and they have no clue like what to do now. Now they like
sell themselves.
Yeah, like now that everything's changing so much, like technologically, a lot of these jobs are becoming like obsolete because the companies are like, well, fuck, we'll just have ChatGPT write the code for us or whatever. And so there's people that have been in tech for a while just getting laid off in droves. And these are people who are like socially inept. They have no clue how to interact with people. They just know coding, which was valuable for a time. And now they can't figure anything out. Whereas like if you know like sales or just like being able to communicate with people, the soft skills, you could be like a complete idiot and work your way up to fortunes.
Right. I mean, that's why I've been honing my skills and shit talking and selling myself for years rather than anything.
Yeah. You know. I mean, honestly, like podcasting is like a medium now that seems to be extremely viable, like more so than maybe even like traditional modes of entertainment like television or movies, because like I just saw a headline that said who would even listen to this, but the Kelsey brothers just got a Spotify deal, like a 3-year Spotify deal for like $100 million for their podcast. And I'm like, there's no way that's fulfilling at all. they can't enrich your life in any way listening to two of the dumbest people of all time.
Hey, but the one guy is dating Taylor Swift, okay? So it's like you got to take what he's saying, you know.
Yeah, but it's
apply it to your own life if you want somebody like Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I can't imagine there's any substance to the Travis and Jason That's their names, right? Whatever their fucking names
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
Whatever they're probably just two fucking morons talk, which is most podcasting, but especially with these guys, it's like, well, this is not your skill set isn't being a brute. You're not supposed to have thoughts. You're supposed to be good at either hitting or getting hit. That's your fucking job. What hubris to think that people should hear you speak. Because, like, dude, that one guy has a huge podcast now that I can't understand. Shannon Sharp. He's a fucking idiot. He's one of the do what?
I said Shannon Sharp. Who's this?
Black fella.
He's the former NFL tight end. He used to do Undisputed with Skip Bayless, where they would just yell at each other for an hour. And then one time Skip crossed a line and got really disrespectful. And so Shannon quit. And now he yells at Stephen A. Smith for a living and has his own podcast, I believe, called Club Shay Shay, which I haven't watched. I've seen some clips from. But yeah, he's a professional, just loud person. That's what.
Wait, which one was he with? Which one was he with?
Skip Bayless, the 80-year-old dude who got famous for calling Troy Aikman gay.
The white guy?
Yeah, the guy who looks like your grandpa.
So you're telling me that white guy ran two different black people off of his shows?
I think he maybe, I don't know, at least one. He might have
wasn't he on the show with the other black guy and then their show split up too?
Yeah, but Stephen A. Smith won that one. He had the high ground.
Okay.
And then Skip had to run to Fox Sports. And then, Shannon took hits from him for like 7 years. And then one day he was like, all right, I've finally had enough of this. I quit.
I'm not siding with the white guy. Just FYI. I was putting the onus on him. It's his fault that all these black people are leaving. I don't know why, but no.
Well, Shannon Sharp was like the first guy to get like a long, intimate interview with Cat Williams. That was like the big thing that happened on his show. And I watched it and I was just mesmerized by the fact that Shannon Sharp seems to be one of the dumbest people I've ever seen and have like no communication skills or even like a particularly curious mind. Like he was asking such like softball basic questions and he seems like such an airhead. It just doesn't seem like there's a lot going on there. And if Cat Williams wasn't a psycho and just rambling himself, he would have been very stilted. I don't know who's tuning into that show because he should, but hey, somebody is because Shannon Sharp's getting paid probably more than he got paid playing football to do the dumbest
that's
the
pretty
most
funny.
Dullest podcast of all time. Even Rogan. I mean, like Rogan is his greatest sin is just how fucking boring he is. Like I don't care that he's like kind of dumb or conspiratorial, right wing, whatever. He's like, for a guy that many people laud as having a curious mind or whatever, he's just fucking boring, dude.
You didn't like his last special? His last stand-up special?
I loved it, dude. I fucking loved it. What I love about Rogan is the unspoken thing that's happening where everyone can see how much he fucking sucks. Just boring, not particularly funny, doesn't even really understand humor that well for somebody who's been doing comedy as long as he has. And I just love that everyone has to play along with this delusion that he's just killing it. That he's a fucking murderer on stage. Because I watched that special, and the only good thing I like, where I can give him kudos on that, is that it was live. So he did perform that hour live, like it was recorded live.
Was it at his thing?
No, it was at some theater in San Antonio. So it's
that's good. At least he didn't just do his
own. So rather than like record different sets and cut together a special, he did something pretty daunting, which is just like go out and do it live. But that's the only good thing I could say about it. Other than that, it was like his stage presence was off-putting. He's yelling the whole time, and then nothing he said was particularly thoughtful or funny to me. But then everyone else that is like exist in that world that had for the betterment of their own like finances and careers just has to pretend like this is the greatest thing.
They're like, dude, Joe,
yeah,
please give me more, bro. It's so funny. You're so talented.
yeah, that's fun to watch because I don't have anything. So like, and I'm not in a position where I would like if I was in like a higher position, like somewhere higher up on any sort of ladder. It would be no skin off my nose to be like, oh, it was great. I love this guy. You know, he's amazing. But I'm in one of the benefits of being like at the bottom rung of just everything in life is I can at least be honest. I don't have to like put on airs or keep up appearances. I can just say like, I think this sucks shit. And then like the response you get from there's a lot of people who will say, oh, you're just jealous, you're envious, you wish you had his career. And it's like, oh yeah, of course.
Well, yeah.
That is true. But also I'm not like being disingenuous when I say that fucking like what he's doing fucking sucks. I would love to have that career, but also he sucks.
I feel like I was getting when we were talking about that Mr. Beast guy weeks ago. And we were, I don't know, there was some segment where I'm talking a bunch of shit about him. And then our executive producer in the chat's like, you sound jealous. And I'm like, well, yeah, I'm jealous. Well, no shit, I'm jealous. Yeah, I'd love to be a fucking rich dude that just has to like, I can just go pretend to like people. It's like, oh, I made 1,000 dudes build houses for a bunch of poor African children.
Yeah, I don't know where this sentiment came from that you're not like allowed to have taste. Like where you could like recognize that somebody has accumulated wealth beyond anyone's wildest dreams, but also be able to recognize like, oh, what this guy does sucks though. Like you know what I mean? Like people conflate money with seem to think that like just because somebody has like a lot of money that's indicative of quality. And so any criticism we get like toward that person is just born from spite or jealousy. Right. And it's like, no, I look, here's the thing. I hats off to whoever was able to build up their that kind of wealth doing whatever dumb shit they're doing. I can appreciate that. That's great. However, what they do fucking sucks. That can also be acknowledged. The Romans knew this. The Romans had the right attitude toward like entertainers, which was that even though like actors could get rich and get to fuck all the hot ladies or whatever, they fucking despised them. They were like, get them out of our town, like put them away. They had no respect for entertainers, even though the entertainers could get wealthy. Whereas like now it's almost like you're expected to respect people in entertainment just for the fact that they're successful. It's like, well, if you don't respect what they do, it really just means you're jealous that you wish you had their career. And it's like, well, I do wish I had their career, but you know what I mean? Like, yeah, there is an aspect of it where it's like, I would love to make money. I would love to have money, but I also would love to, make money doing something that's good.
I'm sure Kevin gets this in his sports world coverage when he says something like LeBron fucking sucks. And they're like, yeah, I'd like to see you make a fucking.
Oh yeah. You call out, you make a accurate and a correct assessment of something. And someone's like, well, this guy didn't even play in college. So what is his opinion means nothing. You're a fucking idiot. You're a scrub. And I'm just like, bro, here is the tape. Here is the footage. Here is the proof. This is what I'm trying to lay out to you. And it's just like, yeah, get wrecked, scrub. You're just jealous. Yeah. Like, sure, bro. Absolutely. But two things can be true at the same time. I can be a not NFL playing scrub, and that NFL player can still have done the wrong thing in that moment. They're not above reproach. So yeah, it's all over the place too, Dan. It's worse. It's not as bad in sports. It's worse if you try to say anything about a Disney run show. All right. If I don't just say Leslie Headland is the queen of all content, I'm a fucking bigot, a misogynist. I wanted it to suck. I hate women. True, I wish I had her job. And only like two of those things are true. It's not fair.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like people don't respect or appreciate the power they have as consumers, which is that like, well, if you're investing your time and money into consuming anything, you're allowed to have taste and insight and opinions on the whatever it is you're consuming. You like, regardless, like I can watch football and recognize like, well, fuck, I can barely walk. So, I can appreciate the skill set they're in, but I can also like get upset when someone, like if I'm rooting for a team, which I don't really care that much about sports, but
Right.
if I'm trying to keep up with if I'm with the boys and I have to like, put on an act, I'll be like, oh, darn.
I know
Yeah,
that.
what an idiot.
I know that.
The truth is, I just don't give a shit at all.
So what you're telling me here is you can appreciate and deconstruct a beautiful woman online without necessarily, being with beautiful women all the time, right?
Sure.
So, Kevin, I was going to ask. I hope you prepped for the show today, like you were supposed to. I'm going to show Dalton.
Yeah. What is this? What is this watermark I keep seeing? What is steak?
Steak is like so it is a gambling website, and it is what funds. It's what funds like that Kick platform or whatever where people stream.
Yo, dude, I saw something today. Every now and then you see something on Twitter that is kind of like revelatory. It's like an oddly profound thing to say. Somebody posted something today that they were like, I don't really like cyberpunk fiction because at this point, because now we live in it now and it fucking sucks. and this made me think of that because like for many years you could only gamble in Vegas and Atlantic City, and the rest of the country was polite society, whereas like gambling was this very bad. It was like very naughty,
right?
And now you say everything is there's so much gambling everywhere. There's so much of like everybody has so much access to gambling, and it feels like this bleak vision of the future.
It's almost like it's addictive, and
yeah, like it feels like we're living in like Demolition Man or some like shitty version of the future where like in the year 2024 everybody will be addicted to gambling.
Yes. Yes, that's true. And see, this is part of the problem, okay? Because people like Alinity here streaming on Kick or whatever, promoting the stake gambling or whatever. And what I was referring to Kevin earlier, where I asked him if he prepped for the show. This is what I meant.
As someone who has adequately reviewed the Twitch TOS, if you know that your nipples are out, you're actually not allowed to have them showing through your top if you are aware of it. So the only time that it's okay to show your nipples through your top is when you are unaware and it is an accident.
What's going on with this lady's voice? Why does she sound like that?
Dude, that's crazy that she does that because like rubbing nipples is like something that turns me on. As someone,
so
that's gotta be an ad for her OnlyFans, right?
Hey, me like, too, sister.
You ever just fucking get your fucking nipples real ready before you go live, Dalton?
True. Hey, I never heard any truer words than that. Rubbing nipples turns me on, dude. Dude.
That's why I'm always wearing the hoodie, even in the summer. It's so the nipples don't show through.
You let me rub a nipple or two, dude. I'm switched on, man.
What age? I think I was telling this story on the podcast, not too long ago. But what age did you discover that, like, if you do a little tune in Tokyo, kind of get your shit going?
Oh, that I probably like when I was 14, probably.
Right. I was telling them, I was like, there was just one day when I was young enough I still had buddies like come over and stay at my house when I was a kid. So I was like having a slumber party, with my buddies. And one of my buddies says, Did you know? Did you know it feels good if you rub your nipples?
Dude, I remember being in middle school one time, and like when I was like maybe like 13 or 14, and this mean fucking girl came up to me to bully me basically because I was overweight, and she like flicked my nipple.
Uh-oh.
And I got a little chub going, dude. I was like, "Yo, can you do that again?"
You can make fun of me all you want,
Yeah,
bitch.
yo, girl, can you fucking keep flicking my nipples like that?
Harder next time, bitch.
Yeah, dude.
I actually want you to grab on and twist.
I found this gimp suit online. Hang on.
Yeah.
But you know, have you ever rated Alinity here? I mean, she even preps for her streams and everything.
I haven't. I've been on hiatus. I've been recharging. You know, the new season of looking at Twitter titty twisters is coming.
Yeah.
So I've been passively observing titties and women, but have not been like doing ratings as of yet.
You've been prepping. You've been getting
I've just been like resting. I'm on sabbatical.
You've been twisting your nipples until you find the right one.
Yeah, because I felt like I was flooding the market too much. I was doing it. You know, I was maybe over leveraging my ability to look at titties. And so I had to, I just had to say, I'll focus on some other projects and get back at it. So who is this lady?
She's like some kind of Twitch streamer, and she's been popular for a while, years now, I guess, but mostly it's the OnlyFans.
Okay. and gambling, I guess.
Right. That's their, I mean, think about this schedule. If this was your daily schedule, you go on Kick, stake.com sponsored Kick or whatever. You gamble some shit or whatever with some money that they give you. You play with your nipples. And then once you do that for like 4 hours, you go and you record like an hour worth of OnlyFans shit where you're fucking flicking your bean for hours. Yeah. All done. Damn.
I'd
awesome day.
I gotta be honest with you. As much as I love gambling, I would be very disappointed if I went to a website called stake.com and it was gambling and not meat. I'd be like, yo, I came here for Porterhouse. What the fuck is this?
Yeah, right. Maybe they should lean into that. They should get to thinking. It's like, it's not only degenerate teenagers that will visit your site. If you've got actual stake on here.
Dude, gambling is awesome. Like I've even, because it's like, I've like have been criticized it earlier, but I have like looked for ways, like, is there a way I can just gamble online from my phone? And you can only do that in like Jersey and Vegas right now. Like if you live in states where it's legal. So, I mean, like, casino. I was genuinely like, yo, is there a way I can just like play slots at home? Because I know you can do like online poker and shit, but I'm like, can I just do what my aunt does all day, but for real money?
I just want to do penny slots all day.
Because my aunt is one of those people who just has like a slot app where there's no money involved, but she'll just sit outside smoking cigarettes doing like fake slots all day, which scratches the itch a little bit, but it would be nice if I could actually lose my savings.
You need that real rush of need.
Yeah,
hole.
A great Suboxone for that, or like an alternative, is just like downloading the Robinhood app. Just download the Robinhood app and start investing in stocks you've never heard of.
It's the same difference, right? Yeah.
I got into the stock market back in May, I think, and realized like, okay, yeah, this is just gambling. Nice. This is not investing. This is not like whatever you think it is. It's literally just gambling. Cool, man.
Exactly. And yeah, the people that don't like the gambling get a sponsorship by Robinhood where they say, go do this. It's stocks. Don't worry.
Yeah. I'm not even I think Robinhood is actually kind of an evil company, but I'm looking at it every day, praying that I make my money back.
Well, don't ever submit to them being an evil company. Just keep, singing their praises. And then one day they'll probably send you a sponsor email.
Yeah. I think that they are like in bed with Citadel, so they are kind of an unscrupulous company.
Oh yeah, they locked it up. I think it was GameStop. There was a point where Robinhood would not allow people. They blocked the trading of that. Things like that, where it's like, oh, all right, scumbag.
That movie about that is actually not that bad. The Dumb Money. I don't think anyone went. Yeah, I don't think anyone saw it because it was like it came out during the pandemic, or it's also a pandemic movie. Like it takes place, like it's based on like a real thing, so it's all taking place during the pandemic, and I think nobody wants to be reminded that happened. Yeah, so like a lot of the movies, like people wearing masks and whatever.
That is funny to see, honestly.
It's interesting that there's not a lot of media that's come out since the pandemic happened that has like touched on it at all. That this like thing,
it's too close.
this event that happened that like robbed us of like our lives and fundamentally changed the course of human history. We're just completely ignoring at this point. Which is like nobody even wants to acknowledge it.
Well, when the real crazy shit happens, that's what we do. We push it down, repress it, bottle it up. The pandemic, we're like, we don't want to talk about that. Our president gets fucking almost his head blown off, and we're like, forget about that in like a day. I don't want to keep that.
Yeah, well, because as it was happening, there was so much hysteria. It was all anyone talked about, and it got to the point where you were just like, maxed out on. You were overclocked on this like pandemic talk where you're overheating. Like I can't fucking hear about this anymore. But now that we're on the other side of it, it's like at some point somebody should like take a more like observational, like look at it from a distance and see if there's a way to capture like that moment in time in something. I don't know, but the Dumb Money movie kind of does a good job of it. Because it did give me like a Vietnam flashback to the like all the scenes in the movie of like somebody like bending over and like pulling their mask down to talk, or like a store manager being like, "Hey, put your mask on or you're out of here." Did kind of give me like where I was like, "Uh-oh," I'm like shaking. But there's like a point in the movie, and I remember when this happened in real life, where like the CEOs of Robinhood are freaking out about what's going on, and like Citadel, the hedge fund, it like calls them, or something happens where one of the CEOs ends up like striking a deal with Citadel where they're just going to lock it up, where like nobody can buy any more shares, they can only sell, and it becomes like this big controversy, this big scandal. And but you realize like watching that movie, or if you've ever done what I've done, which is foolishly dabble in the stock market at all, you realize how rigged it is all the time anyway. That it's owned by the hedge funds, so they're not, it's very difficult and it's very rare that you could actually make money playing around on the stock market. Because it's rigged top to bottom.
I always think all that shit is bullshit. Like, from when they told, from when I was told, oh, the stock market was a good investment, I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. And then it was crypto. Oh, that's a good investment. I'm seeing all my friends do it for fun. They're like, I got buddies that are like, dude, I just fucking dumped like 100 and fucking Dogecoin or whatever, and it's just been going up and down. I'm like, why?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it would have to be like an obsession for you to make any money at it. Like it would have to be like a 24/7 thing that you're investing yourself into. Because I've seen people make money doing it, and for me, it's like I would rather just spend my time developing something that I want to do, working on the things that will make me money in other ways rather than whatever this is, because I don't want my skill set to be basically gambling. I'd rather have a more stable foundation for myself.
And not even like normal gambling where you could go to a fucking casino and maybe game the system. This is like the bullshittest gambling that
Yeah.
has
Oh,
no
dude.
effect on anything outside of just stock market shit.
Yeah, because dude, I watched a movie recently that I guess I remember having come out and forgot about it. It was a Paul Schrader movie that came out a couple of years ago called The Card Counter with Oscar Isaac. That movie is just like a fantasy I've had my entire life, which is can you make a living just going to different casinos and playing cards?
Yeah.
Because it's about a guy who like he's out of prison, and he just, while he was in prison, he learned how to count cards, and he just goes to different casinos, plays blackjack, makes a decent amount of money, and then just goes to another casino. And I was like, now this is the life. Now if I could, this is the way I would want to like make a living doing gambling.
I had seen a guy that did like some kind of internet gambling scam where he would, because you know how there are like those there are like stores that are game stores where you can go and basically just gamble there online or whatever. There's stores like that, I guess, that you can just go and game, for money
Right.
like that. And there was this guy I had seen years ago. Now I don't know if you can even do this kind of thing anymore, but he would game the system. He had some kind of algorithm or program he used that would help him game the gambling system. But if he got caught on a certain IP, he would be banned. So he just would spend his 8-hour shift of work would be going from gaming store to gaming store, these gambling stores or whatever, to get on the internet and do his thing without being picked up on like by his IP, because he keeps constantly switching it around or whatever. And he was
Nice.
making fucking bank. I mean, the way these guys think, it's like I'm not even smart enough to fucking think.
Yeah. It's really eye-opening when you start to conceptualize that like 40% of the American economy is like schemes. It's just different like schemes and gambling and like not real stuff. Like there's like so many people making like tons of money doing stuff that's like not real.
Just completely fake ass fucking.
Yeah, I think I saw I don't read anything, but I saw like the first sentence of the headline of an article that said like over 60% of jobs in America are white collar, like office, middle management, or some sort of office job, right? So that means like most people that are working in America are doing something that doesn't like produce anything.
Right.
They're not
Yeah.
actually working at all. Like I know people who've had those kinds of jobs where either they go to an office or they work from home, and the extent of their job is like they open a laptop and maybe send a couple emails, go to a Zoom meeting, and that's their job.
Kevin, that sounds like what you deal with on a daily basis with some of the people that you. I shouldn't
Oh
say
yeah,
that.
dude. Yeah,
I shouldn't
just
say that.
just a professional middleman out here.
Kevin's
half
gonna
the
be
time.
fired tomorrow.
Dude, you know what's cool?
Yeah, for sure.
You know what's cool is like I have a work from home job, but I have one of the ones where I am busy all day. So it's like I have the privilege of not having to commute, but when I clock in, it's like immediately I start working and I don't like get to stop until I'm done.
Yep.
And so I do phone sales, and that's been a cool thing to learn how to do. It's very stressful, but like you start to see like the progression of it as you get better at it. Because like you make your money in commission. My base pay is like embarrassingly low. It's rare to even it's kind of lucky that I even found a sales job with a base pay, because most of them are scams. They're like 1099 commission only, where you go, well, if I work for you, how is this a 1099 job? And they go, do not worry, my friend. Do not you get we send you leads, you make calls, you get commission, my friend. So I found one that's like an actual W-2 job where I get a base plus like uncapped commission. And so like I've been able to see my paychecks like over the last like however many months I've had this job go from dog shit to now I'm like, I'm not like starting to make real money doing this. Like these sales is like a cool skill to develop, and it's like a good way to make money doing something that's also kind of not real, but at least feels more productive than sending emails.
Right. And I mean, I'm sure that all of your like podcasting on the side get you. I mean, not that like podcasting would really get you to be able to sell something to somebody, but all of that talking and like you're selling yourself and you're trying to be a good
Yeah.
Have a good conversation and all that. And I mean, the skill set is the same kind of.
Yeah, it's something that like Lewis always says, Lewis J. Gomez of Gas Digital, is that like so much of
went to prom with Claudio Sanchez.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he went to prom with Claudio Sanchez. We do have to still talk about that.
We do.
But he's always said that comedy and like a lot of what he does is basically sales. And I'm like, I agree, because it certainly ain't comedy. But he is right. He is right about that. That so much of like trying to even do a podcast or stand up or anything in the arts, like a big part of it is like the ability to sell yourself, to sell the thing that you're doing. And so, yeah, you learn a lot doing like sales. It's been, I would say it, obviously I don't want to fucking do a sales job forever. I would do the people I work with who are like, I've been with the company for 20 years. I'd be like, dude, I would have started a shotgun 5 years into that. Dude. But it is like a cool thing to do, because you develop a skill set and like a foundation for yourself that's highly transferable. That like now it's like I'm basically like a Ronin. I can just go anywhere now with what I've learned.
And you're forced to get good at it. You can't just be like, if you suck at it, then you don't make money. So you've got to be good at it.
Yeah, if you suck at it, you don't make money on your checks, and then they eventually fire you, because you do have to like start hitting your metrics, like whatever they're expecting of you.
See, that shit's too stressful for me.
Yeah, but what's cool about it is like most jobs hit you with some bullshit where it's like, we're a family here, or they string you along where they're paying you a fucking like some dog shit wage, and then use all this like a hippy dippy hokey language to mask the fact that you're just like, trying to stave off homelessness and starvation. Like, I need fucking money. You know what I mean? You like so much of like jobs is like this dance where it's like, let's not speak of why I'm actually here, which is I need a paycheck. I have to say like, oh, well, I just, I love the company and I think you're doing good thing, and the reality is we both know I need money. And you get, for some reason, anytime you go to a job interview, you can't say that, where they're like, so what interests you in this job? It's like, yo, dude, I am at the end of my rope. I need some money, dude. You can't say that. But with the sales job, at least the one I have in my experience, that's the only topic of conversation. They go, you like money, don't you? Well, your job here is to, we're going to figure out how you can make as much money as you want. Like, that's all we ever talk about in our meetings is like, how do we make more money? Not just for the company, but for ourselves. Right. Which is nice to just cut through the bullshit and go, all right, we all agree that we all really
want to make more money.
We just love money. We don't really care too much about, we only care about this company in as much as the fact that they offer an uncapped commission structure. So how do we make as much money as we can?
Hey, yeah. Dalton,
you gotta love that transparency.
They're like, Dalton, we don't care what the fuck is going on in your personal life. That shit that you just took. Are you making money or not?
Yeah.
So let's get into some shit here. Okay. We've been bullshitting. And I love it.
So let's start the show.
Let's start the show.
now you know what it's like to be on the Crowder Boys, which is at some point we realized, like, I guess we started after about an hour.
Hey, I love that. Hey, there's nothing better, At
some point, somebody just sneak hits the stream button. All right, guys, we're live.
We could have did that pre-show today, but we did. But Dalton, I wanted to show you a little revisit to one of our prior encounters on the show together. Here is, what was her name exactly? Laura Juicy.
Trust me, I've been following her.
This is the most recent one that I saw.
Yeah, I saw this one.
Still got a kick out of it. I mean, there's a lot of these viral.
She's insane. She's disgusting, dude. She's so gross.
There's a lot of these viral women, and Laura Juicy didn't take too kindly to this new Hoctois going on, Bill Maher's podcast. Getting all, taking all the attention. She didn't like that too much. So let's watch this. Okay.
All right.
That girl said her spit on that thing. That's boring. I'm farting on it. Exactly. Speak to him, Toothless. I'm farting on it. That girl.
Did she call it toothless?
Wait, what does that mean? I don't
butthole. Speak to him toothless.
She called her butthole toothless.
I've never thought of my asshole as a gumless, toothless gummer, before.
Yeah, or maybe isn't that one of the dragons from How to Train Your Dragon? Is named Toothless.
Oh, so her asshole's breathing fire.
Yeah, maybe it's that.
Oh, now we're rolling. Okay, I'm with that. I'm back on board. I was off. Now I'm back.
She is psychotic, dude. I've been following her for some time. I saw this when she did it. When she dropped this one.
She does.
That's her whole feed is like, it's either like fart videos like that, which some can be funny. A lot of them are just disgusting. And then, like, dude, I follow her on Instagram, and she'll post these like photo, whatever you call them, photo dumps, or just like a string of photos that you scroll through.
Yeah, photo dumps. I'm sure that's what she calls them.
Well, yeah, man, because like she posts like the most insane pictures where she like goes out of her way to make herself look like crazy. And she probably actually is crazy, but
yeah,
she posted one the other day where it was like a photo series of her just taking a shit, it looked like. And one of the pictures was her holding up the toilet paper, and there were shit streaks on the paper.
No.
And I was like, yo, dude.
So,
put that behind a paywall, for the love of God.
It is. It must be, because this isn't content I could find on YouTube.
No, this is just her Instagram. Yeah, it's her Instagram feed where I'm talking about.
Oh, my God.
I think we're probably better off not looking at the shit streak.
Yeah, it was so gross, man.
Do you think this is real? Like, here, let me play it again. The fart.
I think
spit on that thing. That's boring. I'm farting on it.
Like, is that?
Yo, that fart had some bounce to it, dude.
Is that real? Like, it almost seems not.
I think it's real. Yeah, I've watched tons of her videos, and I think they're all real farts.
Oh my God, dude! What the fuck? She's got to eat something special. There's
Wendy's chili that's been frozen for at least a month.
I think she lives in Baton Rouge, so I think her diet is
fish
contributes pretty well to farting. A lot of red beans and rice, I imagine.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah, well, it seems like Laura Juicy's still at it out there. Here's another good one somebody shared to me, and I know that we're all kind of. I've watched Dalton enough now that definitely know you're like you're a movie connoisseur. You watch some movies every once in a while, right?
Yeah, I'm not like a film bro necessarily. Like, I'm not a cinephile, but I can.
I hope not.
I can appreciate the celluloid spectacle from time to time, but. I just like good movies. So like, if I watch a movie and I vibe with it, I'm like, yeah, this is cool.
So are we gonna vibe with this one then?
Yeah, I saw this. I don't know how much validity there is to this, or if this is like something that's being discussed. I think that would be good casting. It's interesting because.
Why is that, Dalton?
not just because of her big fat titties. Yes, obviously. But she was recently in one of these Sony like Spider-Man offshoot movies. She was in Madam Web where she played Spider-Woman.
Oh, so she can't even do this then.
She
I didn't even
could.
see that movie.
Sure, she can. No one saw that movie.
No one saw the
They're gonna
movie.
Give it the acolyte treatment. And just be
So
like,
it
"Nah,
would-
we were never here.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see, give her another shot at being in a Marvel property.
I mean, I'm sure the audience won't mind if looking at the pictures here.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, I've never seen any of her acting. I literally only know her as a woman with titties. I've never seen anything she's been in.
I don't know what she's from. Where did
It's
she
good
come
to know
from?
she's an actress. Yeah, I just figured she probably was an industry plant musician.
I know she. I think she came to prominence from that show Euphoria, which I'm never gonna watch. And then she's been in some movies here and there, but I've never watched anything she's been in.
Yeah, what's Euphoria? Headbug with the assist.
We are
Yeah.
fucking
Tits McGee.
we're officially pigs here on the Clout Route podcast. You guys don't know where the fuck you don't know what she's been in. I can't believe you say that about her.
Yeah, I like the relationship I have with Sydney Sweeney as a fan of hers is not that I've enjoyed any of her movies or TV. It's just every now and then she posts something to Instagram. I'm like, man, these are really good looking titties.
I saw her like post a picture of her ass while she was on the beach or something.
I saw
the
that
other
one,
day.
yeah.
And Dalton says something like, "I wonder what she smells like."
Yeah.
Oh man, I catch you guys every once in a while on the Crowder Boys, and I was listening to you the other night. And Crack Amico said something like, "What the fuck was it?" I wanted to open on this, but I didn't want to steal his joke. He said, Daniel gay Jewish. And I laughed for like 10 minutes straight for no
Craig
reason.
is very funny. Craig does not give himself the credit for his like comedic ability because he's very funny.
I need to open the show sometimes and be like, Kevin's here and I'm Daniel gay Jewish.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Good shit. You guys should go check them out for real. If you haven't, Crowder Boys, Corn Fed with Dalton Pruitt, all that. Go check it out.
Check out that Bible study too while you're at it.
Yeah,
There you go.
You've got a new regular Bible study viewer.
Thank you.
I'll be sure to
be
catch the
upon you.
next one.
Can I ask you? So I want to ask you a question about your podcasting ventures recently, and then I also want to recommend a guest for you. Maybe I'll recommend the guest, and then we'll get into my questions for you. But so what I'm going to ask you about this femoid girl a little bit. She's an interesting character, but the reason why I know who that is because this femoid girl was on a commentary community podcast recently, which me and Kevin kind of dabble in the commentary community stuff. Well, not recently, it's been a while, but femoid was on Now Recording. So I was curious how you ended up with femoid on the show and everything, but while we're there kind of talking about, the crowd of people that you can pull on the show, I think that a good one for you guys, this would have to be one where it's like you and a couple of the boys, because I'm sure you guys would have a bunch of good questions to ask her. But there's this commentary community lady named Bunny Button.
Okay.
And she is a clown OnlyFans cam soda lady. And she wants you to give her a honk.
She looks like she should work in Congress.
No, she does a show with one of we've had a guest on before, Badwick, who does a show with her. And like I said, she dabbles in the commentary community stuff. And I think Dalton and his crew would have a good time having her on and probing her maybe is the wrong term of phrase.
I think we would have fun with her on Corn-Fed. I'd have her on Corn-Fed. I don't know how well she would gel with the Crowder boys because crack suffers no bitches. You know?
Is that did he interact with Femoid then?
So that's the thing is because like me and Robbie are very good at simping, so we'll bend the knee for some women, or just be genial at least. But if a woman is like revealing herself to either be a bitch or just stupid, Crack is like does not put up with it, which is good for him.
Well, Bunny seems like she's a normal person, and like her, she's normal until she puts on the clown makeup, then
right.
she has fun.
I'm sure Bunny is lovely. she looks. I would have her on. But I don't know about I'll have to talk to the fellows, but I would definitely have her on my.
Just a recommendation for you,
because Crack, the conversations I've had with Crack is that he's like, obviously he watches pornography, but he does not seem too enthusiastic about talking to women who do OnlyFans or do porn.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You need a level of separation, right? Like a never meet your heroes kind of deal.
Right. And, I don't blame him because, like, in my experience, I've had fun talking to women who are in that world, but there are times when it could be like, oh yeah, this woman is you have to be able to like put up with this.
Well, either that or you can invite an Arkansas 8 on your podcast, but sometimes you just want to talk to a California 10.
But I don't mean to. I'm not disparaging or denigrating Bunny in any way. I'll reach out. But you want to know about Femoid.
At least follow.
Yeah. Because we talked a bit about Femoid before we started recording here. She's like a provocateur online. Yeah. She's been around for some years, and she's like become this like in the same vein as like I suppose like Milo Yiannopoulos or one of these like contrarian, antagonistic opinion havers. Someone who's trying to make a career out of having naughty opinions. And so I found her, this was like, which I told you this before we did all this, but I'll go over it again, that as the Israel-Palestine conflict was escalating, which is a great place to begin talking about this. And then there was that story with the tunnels in Brooklyn, the Hasidic Jewish tunnels they found.
Yeah.
She posted something on Twitter that was going viral where she was wearing like some outfit that vaguely resembled like a military uniform. And she posted that saying something about how she was like enlisting in the IDF. So I quote tweeted it and said, this is one Jew tunnel I wouldn't mind rooting around in. Because she, at least online, when she posts photos of herself, is not, when she manipulates the way she looks, is not bad looking. Now, I don't know what she looks like au natural, but at least the presentation is good online. And so that's what, I alluded to wanting to have sex with her in that post. Didn't know her or know anything about her when I said that.
And that made her want to go on your show.
Well, yeah. Well, somebody told me like you should have her on your podcast. She's like a interesting internet figure. It would be good for your show. And I was like, okay. So I reached out to her and she agreed to do it. And I had her on. And for that first interaction we had when I first had her on the show, like her webcam was broken, so it was just audio. Her side was audio only. So I couldn't even see, is this woman actually attractive? But I could hear that she's a bitch. Which by the way, in the time that I knew her, we don't interact anymore. I never really had like too many qualms. I never really hated her or had many qualms with her. I just like recognized like because I've known so many women like this before that she's just a nasty woman. She's very
She's
mean.
a nasty woman, very mean. Okay?
Yeah.
Best.
Yeah, and so we invited her on early on into when me, Craig, and Robbie started the Crowder Boys. We had her on. Yeah, there she is. We had her on, and like I said, Crack suffers no bitches. So her and Crack immediately were not getting along. Like they were at odds with each other immediately. And so then we had a great classic radio moment where like an hour into it, Crack asks her a question, and as she goes to answer, he just hangs up on her, which is probably the greatest radio bit of all time.
Is this Robbie in here in the comments right here from your show? Robbie Goodwin right there?
That's Robbie. Oh, it's Robbie.
God
damn it, dude. Robbie is such a simp. We talked to him about this. Like, you gotta stop, man. Oh, dude.
Well, clearly he's a fan.
Yeah, in fact, we asked him to unfollow her, and clearly he has not. So this is going to be a point of contention on the next episode of the Loud Boys that he's still canoodling with the enemy of the show.
This was yesterday.
He's like, oh, they'll never look.
This was just yesterday. So yeah, maybe you got some talking to do.
That's so funny. And it's so funny because she looks like dog shit in that picture. Dude, if I saw this, I'd be like, "Oh, this clearly strung out woman is having some problems." I would not be simping for this.
He wants some, Mo. Can I have some?
Yeah.
Oh dear, dude. Oh, there you go. I mean, seems like you guys need to have Femoid back on again. Apparently,
I would. Yeah, it's just that she and I no longer have any sort of relationship.
You're excommunicated.
Yeah, we're excommunicado because she something happened where she did after a while turned on me and unfollowed me on Twitter, and then she disappeared from Twitter for a minute. She like deleted her account and then came back. And the first thing she posted when she came back was that she had a miscarriage, which I thought, this is one of her classic trying too hard to be funny bits. And so I quote tweeted that and just said,
a fucked up bit.
But that's the thing. It's like,
right.
If you know her at all, which I don't know her that well, but the interactions I've had with her version of like being funny is just like trying too hard and to be edgy. And it just comes off as like gross or mean or like, why would you think this is funny? So I thought that's what she was doing. And so I just quote tweeted it and said, welcome back. And then she said, leave me alone, you fat loser. Okay.
She has some people in our audience blocked.
Yeah. So then the next thing she posted was like, this is like what really kind of grossed me out about this person is it seemed like she was already like trying to mine her miscarriage for content, for clicks, because she posted like a picture of her in the hospital or doctor's office from when she had the miscarriage. Yeah, and she was like wrapped up in some diaper that they put her in to catch the, I guess like the baby parts that were falling out of her. I don't know like what it was, but
did she try to make it hot looking?
Yeah. It was also like sexy, like baby just died. Yeah, dude.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and so I deleted my post, and then I sent her a message to just say, hey, because like a miscarriage that sucks. Whether you wanted
Right.
You know, like an unplanned pregnancy, miscarriage, whether it's a miscarriage or abortion or whatever, that's like traumatic for anybody. That's what no one's talking about when it comes to this abortion issue. Is this is it's not like women are getting them as a hobby.
What?
Anyway, listen, I don't know what I was going.
Unless they know
there.
Will Arnett, and that's
Yeah.
a deep cut. That.
But
nobody
but I can recognize that, like, a miscarriage is like fucked up, and it can have like some long last. It could be something you gotta process, right?
Yeah.
So I messaged her and was like, hey, I'm sorry about what happened to you, and then she responded. I think her response said, "Change your life." So I don't know what that means. I'm trying to, actually. I've been trying to better myself for some time now.
Well, maybe maybe you'll get there someday, and she'll reach back out to you and be like,
No, I have her blocked now because because I told her, I said, hey, I'm being sincere right now. Like, that's a traumatic thing to go through, and I just wanted to like offer some kind words, and let you know that, I'm sorry you have to go through this. And then this might be some projection of self on her part, because she said something like, you're weirdo with a personality disorder. Please leave me alone.
Join the club online, lady. Like, come on, what the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah, so she said like, I'd rather you just leave me alone. And I was like, all right, will do. God bless. And then I blocked her.
At least you're a respectful man, and you're like, fuck this bitch. I can't interact with her anymore.
Yeah, but I don't think I'm the first person in the internet sphere that she's done this with, where she's like kind of buddied up and been brought in and done a show with, and then just turned on and pissed off. I mean, nobody liked her from the beginning. Like, when I had her on, anyone that tuned into my show was like, hey, man, I don't know where you found this woman, but please never bring her back.
Except for Robbie.
Yeah, but all the people that listen were like, yeah, please don't ever talk to this person again. We do not want to hear her. So I had her back one more time on my show. We had her on I had her on my show, then the Crowder Boys, and one more time on my show. And that's the extent of it. But apparently she came to prominence because she was buddied up with Destiny early on as he was becoming successful. She was trying to work her way into the professional opinion haver field with Destiny. And I suppose because Destiny has this like weird cuck bull open hot wife thing.
They probably banged.
Yeah, I think that she had sexual liaisons with Destiny. And then at some point I turned on him, or his fans turned on her. And so she has like a few like instances where she's like in the sphere of somebody. And then lo and behold, something happens where everyone associated with that person fucking hates her. And then she's like the victim, according to her, that like, oh, these people harass me or whatever. And like, if you pay attention to her, it's like, maybe there's some of that, but also you seem like a raging fucking bitch. Like, I don't think this is coming out of nowhere that people are being mean to you on the internet.
I mean, that's all I've seen. And like, from what I've seen of her online, it has been the whole, she's arguing with somebody on Twitter or whatever. So.
Oh yeah, she'll post like an Anne Frank diary entry, like length post about like why men nowadays are pussies or whatever, and how a man shouldn't make less than $300,000 a year. She says insane things like that.
She's right. She's right.
She might be. There might be
agree
some
with
truth.
that.
There is some truth to that, probably.
But
she says things to ruffle people's feathers, to rile people up, but then acts like, why are people arguing with me? I'm like, well, this is the response you were trying to elicit, because clearly this was posted to make people upset.
Well, It seems like you're having fun over there if you're having guests like Femoid on. So I
Yeah,
love
I
that.
think we have a new rule on the Crowder Boys, which is no more girls.
No more
I think our hard and fast rule is just no more women.
See, when we have women on, I just get accused of being unfaithful to my wife. That's what they say to me.
That happened early on Cornfed. There used to be 3 co-hosts of Cornfed. Now there's 2 because we had a woman on early on, and one of the co-hosts' wives was like, "All right, you can't do podcasting with your friends anymore."
Because there's a woman involved.
My wife doesn't listen to the show.
Yeah, I guess his wife would have never found out, but I guess she walked in the room while he was on the webcam, and what she saw on screen was a woman with huge tits. It was like, that turned into like a 2-week fight between them, and now he's just not allowed to do podcasting anymore.
Oh my god!
I love that. I love that. Honestly,
Yeah,
that breaks my heart.
hell yeah, brother. Oh, you know what? Happy wife, happy life. I get it.
No, it doesn't. The calls he calls me, regularly, and it does not sound like, even when she's happy, that either one of them are living a happy life. But hey, it's not my place to speculate or speak too much about these people's lives.
Oh, well, okay, so I've got another good one for you. Another question that I've been dying to ask you since the last time we had you
Yes.
on. Okay? Here's one. It's to the beat of A Favor House Atlantic by by Coheed and Cambria. Let's see if I can do this here. It's Gay Guy Diaper. Here I shoot my cum.
The turds you dribbled on my balls. The toss of salads in your ass.
Hey, I can hear it.
Yeah, dude.
So
that's one of those posts that's maybe just for me.
maybe just hey, you see, I liked it.
That's one for me, dude.
You see, I liked it. I'm right there with you. So since we had you on the show, a big joke, I guess, that we have, a running joke on the show, is that I'm a huge Coheed fan and I am an anti Blink 182 guy, very anti Blink 182. So after we had you on the show, and people must have started following you on Twitter or whatever, and then I start getting these shared to me in our Discord. I get Gay Guy Diaper message, and they're like, "Hey, did you know Dalton fucking hates Coheed or whatever?" And I was like, I don't know.
Hate Coheed.
I don't know if a guy that hates Coheed could make a post like this.
That comes from a place of love, dude.
Exactly. And then I saw this get posted below.
Yeah. I guess Lewis went to high school with Claudio.
That is so dope.
Wild.
How funny is that? What the fuck? But no, I had to ask, I guess, once I had you on the show again. It's like, are you a fan or are you a foe? Are we?
Yeah, I'm a fan. It took me. I'm surprised it took me into adulthood to like become a fan of Coheed, because I never. It's funny because I've always been a big fan of like dorky nerd ass music, like songs about spaceships and lasers and outer space and all that.
Hell yeah.
But with Coheed, it was like when I was a teenager, we got the game Rock Band came out. We were playing plastic guitars in the living room. And so Welcome Home was a big track on that game.
Right.
That was a fun one to rock out to. So I always enjoyed that song. But then there were like times in my life when I would like try to listen to Coheed. And like I knew that it was like some Star Wars thing going on, like where it was like, oh yeah, I guess this is all like part of a big story he's writing. These are all concept albums. But I would listen to the music and be like, yeah, I'm not picking up on any of like the space battles apparently that this is about. This just kind of just sounds like punk pop emo music kind of, and he also sounds like a little boy when he sings, like a teenage girl.
Like, good luck trying to understand the story or the lore here if you're just listening to the music. That's for sure.
Sure, but then within recent years or months, whenever I really gave it another chance, it clicked for me, and I was like, I do enjoy this a lot. This is fun, and what I like about it is that they do have a lot of songs that. I know you're a big fan of Coheed, so I don't know how this is going to be interpreted, but to me, this is a positive. They have a lot of songs that sound like they would fit perfectly on the soundtrack for Sonic Adventure.
Well, yeah, you're getting to the autism thing, aren't you?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, when you put it that way, right?
Yeah, they have songs that remind me of playing like Sonic on GameCube or even Dreamcast.
It was as soon as you started posting shit like this that my executive producer's like Google searching like, is Coheed and Cambria for autistic people?
Yeah, for sure, dude.
And then I'm getting all of the haha, you autistic fuck.
Yeah, it is very autistic. That's what's funny. Like Lewis will talk about all the time, like he went to high school with Claudio, and
he talks about this.
Yes, but it's like there's no fucking way about the Amory Wars or any of the shit that's actually going on.
Right.
You probably know a few songs and recognize that these are like rock stars or whatever. I can't imagine somebody like Lewis knows what's actually going on with this band.
Oh, no.
Because I'm a fan in as much that I enjoy the music. Like I'll roll the windows down in the car, play it loud, have a good it's nice.
Hell yeah, bro.
But I'm not even I don't go deep where I'm trying to figure out any of the story or whatever the fuck this is supposed to be.
I like this one you posted. You said Autism Engaged. Good Apollo on Burning Star Volume 1 by Coheed and Cambria, but in Super Mario 64.
Yeah. Yo, shout out. Yeah, this is a guy. This is a YouTube page I found months ago. I think what's the channel? I think his name was Clip, like QLIP. And he just every now and then he drops, he'll take a full album and record it in the Super Mario 64 sound font. He'll transpose it somehow and then record it this way. Because months and months ago, I think one of the first things he uploaded was he had done it with D-Louse and the Comatorium by the Mars Volta.
Okay.
Which is one of my favorite albums of all time. I've been a fan of them for many years.
Same realm, kind of music, right?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, like Latino, curly hair,
progressive rock. That.
Yeah, big curly hair Latino music. Yeah.
Oh man, so yeah, I should really hit up that Super Mario 64 version then, huh?
Yeah, it's fun.
That is Autism Engaged.
Yeah, I think he only transposes the instrumentals. I don't know if he's been able to figure out vocals yet, but it's fun to listen to music in the Super Mario 64 sound font. But yeah, I like Coheed. I like Second Stage Turbine Blade in Keeping Secret of Silent 3. Obviously.
Oh, wow.
I'm Burning Star 4. I'm Burning Star 4 Volume 2. No World for Tomorrow. I like that one.
So you like all of their albums? Do you like the one where they didn't do the storyline and they just did an album?
Oh yeah, when he said, you know what, is maybe we do one for us.
Maybe do one for for the non-autists.
Yeah, I like that. I haven't dove too deep into the newer stuff, Vaxxus or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like a lot of their music. It's something I recognize as very, very nerdy. It's very autistic.
Absolutely, it's so.
It's not like getting. Well, I mean, maybe it might actually be getting pussy wet music because a lot of the people I've met in my life who, before I was even like a fan of them, before I like really got into it, the people who really like Coheed have been like girls, really like that music.
I liked it in high school, and I converted my wife, so I could maybe like.
I've met
I could
multiple.
back that up. My wife was easily like, "Oh yeah, I'm into this."
Yeah, I've met multiple women who have that tattoo, have the keyword tattoo.
Oh yeah, they got the fucking
Yeah.
symbol going on, huh?
Yeah, because it's like sneakily music that you wouldn't know is like Star Trek. There's like a whole space war concept happening with all these albums. Like you wouldn't know that just listening to it.
Right.
Which I still don't understand. Like I listen to the songs and I'm like,
Oh.
how is this about fucking like future space battles?
That's the thing, is that I enjoy Coheed without dipping my toes into the whole. I don't know what's going on. One of the
No,
songs
I don't want to. I'm not gonna go read a fucking comic book.
No,
I'm not gonna go buy this guy's book.
There are like songs about the bikes that they ride and shit.
Yeah. Apparently,
like 10 Speed is about a possessed bike.
Yes, it's about an evil It's about an evil bicycle. So
Stephen King helped produce that one.
Yo, that's exactly what I was about to say. Was that with that album, Good Apollo, I'm Burning Star 4 Volume 1, From Fear Through the Eyes of Madness. That he does like a Stephen King thing with like a Dark Tower thing where it turns into this like meta story where it's about the guy who's writing the story of the fucking of the
and then
album.
He's a character now, so like the actual it's like if Stan Lee, they've done this in like Marvel comics before, right? It's like Stan Lee writes the comics and then eventually it's like Spider-Man meets
well Stephen King did this in Dark Tower where one of the characters and eventually that shows up is Stephen King.
He got tired of those really, really subtle self-inserts of all the children that grew up to be writers. He was like, you know what? God damn it. I'm tired of pretending I'm not in every one of these. All right. We're putting me in by name this time.
I got a new book coming out. It's about a writer in Maine. Nothing you've ever seen before.
This man doesn't miss. Yeah. How is he so original every time?
Yeah. Hey, respect to Stephen King because like even if like there's tons of dog shit with his writing, it's like, hey, you're publishing 3 books a year. You know, you keep taking that many swings, you're gonna strike out a couple times.
Right.
But you'll hit some homers every now and then.
That's right. Oh, goodness gracious. Well, there's our Coheed segment then. We cleared that up. Now I know Dalton is a Coheed fan.
Yeah, because like, you know, why wouldn't I be? It makes sense because I was always a big fan of Rush, big fan of
exactly.
Like Primus.
Well, I just saw Coheed and Primus like 2 weeks ago.
They were on the same bill together.
Yep.
That's awesome, dude. I would love that.
I just saw Coheed and Primus like 2 weeks ago.
Because I saw Primus play Rush. I saw them play the Rush album. That tour.
They'll play songs together too. Claudio and
that's
and
awesome,
Rush
dude. I would love that.
Yeah, it's good. It was.
I did not know they toured together. That's really cool.
It was good. It was fun. And the crowd there. You see these kind of people that show up for a concert like that. Like I don't know if you guys know who Primus is. It's like the people that wrote the South Park song. I mean, I guess that's a bad way to describe them.
Probably how most people at this point would know them.
Right. Yeah.
Did they ever? I feel like they had radio hits. Didn't they? Or they had Tony Hawk Pro Skater soundtrack hits, I think.
Okay, yeah. So you have to reach back.
I feel because they're not as in the mainstream or in the media as they used to be, but they did used to get to go on TV, and they had some big MTV videos. Like they were always doing like cool music videos. So
I like Primus. Yeah.
I love Primus. Yeah, it's weird when people tell me like they never heard of them or never heard their music, because like to me I'm like, well, it's odd music, but I feel like they were really really famous at one time.
Right. Yeah. No, I feel the same way. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely it's a certain crowd that comes out for Primus, and then it's a certain crowd that comes out for Coheed, and seeing that crowd mingle is like, holy fuck. What?
Oh yeah,
What's
yeah, because
it
that was,
smells
like,
in here.
kind of my experience when I went to that. They did a tour where they were playing a Rush album. They were playing all of Farewell to Kings, and so a lot of the people that went to that show
Wow.
were like Rush fans who really didn't know Primus. So when Primus was playing Primus music before they got into the Rush stuff, I think all the Rush people there were like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. No, but that's sweet. Okay, cool. So another thing that I can bond with you on then. Maybe if there's any Coheed news between now and the next time we have you on, I'll bring it up.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know what that would be.
I think they got.
Coheed
I think
route.
they're working on a new album, another chapter in the Amory Wars.
Let's do it, baby. All right, so complete tonal shift pivot here. What do you think, guys? Here, we'll ask Kev, you know, what his expert opinion is. Kevin, have you ever seen the HBO show Girls, or are you familiar with Lena Dunham?
I have not seen Girls, and I remember Lena Dunham. Luckily, we talked about her a week or two ago, because I specifically remember you saying to me, Danny, Kevin, you've never seen Girls? And I said, no, I haven't, and I never will after listening to this Lena Dunham woman speak. She made a lot of assertions. Well, it reminds me a lot of what Dalton was talking about earlier with Femnoid, or whatever her name was, where it was very entitled, very annoying, and I think might have been kind of full of shit in the clip that we saw. So, yeah, huge Lena Dunham fan. Shouts out to her father Jeff and her mother, the one of the puppets. I think it's a jalapeno.
Is that where she gets her comedic skills from? It's the jalapeno.
Yeah.
So.
Ahmed, the dead terrorist.
There it is.
her sperm donor. All right, so let's listen to this clip. This is a bunch of hot celebrities on the Hollywood Reporter roundtable.
I hate these fucking things, dude.
Right? They're so bad.
I don't ever want to hear an actor talk.
Well, here
outside
we
of,
go.
Yeah.
Lena Dunham, baby. You know you want to hear what she has to say.
Yeah.
So here we go. Let's listen.
Literally had a guy who was on my show for a few episodes. I heard him on his mic saying, I hate this job. I cannot wait to be back on a show where there's a man at the helm. I literally heard it
That's insane.
on a mic. So I was like,
Well, you see, also she has Amy Schumer here with her to the left. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, what?
Yeah. So I mean, so far, whoever this guy is, he ain't wrong.
Well, you might agree with what else he has to say.
I didn't even know this happened anymore. Like, I thought he'd just be like subtly weird. And then that same guy later came up to me at lunch and said, you're really enjoying that buffet, aren't you?
No. Who the fuck is that?
I'll tell you afterwards, worst person alive. Literally.
Oh, I
It
went
really
to high
looks like-
school with this girl, man. She's the worst.
It really looks like they got the who's who of fucking bitches for this round table, dude.
I'm guessing Adam Driver has his pants too far pulled up and he's like, bitch, you really enjoying that
Yeah,
buffet?"
the only actor from that show to have a career afterward, by the way, was the man on the show.
I just think this is a lot of projection. I could believe that someone said into a headset, I can't wait to get another job. And she just knew it was because of her. And so she added that extra part where she's like, oh, and he said, because she says it herself, I was expecting him to be subtly weird. This chick came in here expecting to be hated because of the goddamn patriarchy. And wouldn't you know it, as you seek, so shall you find. And she probably was a bitch to everybody, and everybody hated being around her. And when the one guy said it, she's like, listen to this bigot, listen to this misogynist.
It's funny, by the way, for
This has
her-
been a whole episode of objectifying women, by the way.
yeah, but it's like it's ironic for her and Amy Schumer even in this instance to act as though they at any point they've ever been oppressed or suffered. There's been limitations imposed upon them because of anything. Because like Lena Dunham's parents are very successful artists and well connected. She grew up pretty wealthy and had.
Is she really Jeff Dunham's daughter?
No, I don't think so. I think her dad is like a renowned painter or something. I think her parents opened a lot of fucking doors for her, and she grew up pretty well to do. And Amy Schumer's uncle is Chuck Schumer. So I don't think either one of these ladies have dealt with anything that good Christian white men such as ourselves have had to deal with in this life.
Ryan in chat says Brian Williams' daughter ruined her career by getting her ass eaten in that show.
Yeah, this is the only scene from that show I've seen where Adam Driver is eating a woman, either eating her ass or pussy from behind.
I've never seen this.
And the lady goes, "Stop! I haven't showered." And he goes, "I like it that way." and then he throws her on her back, jacks off, and busts all over her tits, and then like throws a shirt on her. And he's like, "Are you mad at me?"
What is this?
Yeah.
Why did they do this on HBO?
Yeah, that's the only scene from that show I've seen.
I guess, like, if they have fucking chicks getting raped in Game of Thrones, I'm not surprised that there's an Adam Driver scene from Girls.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude.
My God.
Wow. Like I said, I bet it was Adam Driver. I bet she's talking shit about him for real. She's like, and that prick also is Star Wars famous now. Fuck him.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so odd. I love it when like really wealthy, successful women go in front of a camera and talk about like how oppressed they've been. And I'm like, you at no point in your life have ever had to feel actual discomfort. Like you probably felt uncomfortable relative to like your life. So I'm not gonna, we all suffer in our own way. But you've never truly had to ever worry about anything. Except, I guess, as a woman, there's always a chance you could get raped. That's always there. So there is that. But in terms
the
of
ever-present fear of
most people have to live a life of just dog shit. And for a lot of people, that's their entire life. They never even climb out of the dog shit.
Right.
But some, there's people who do succeed who have perspective who are like, you know what? The first like 35 years of my life were just the hell on earth. And I'm just so grateful to be where I am. And then the people who bitch all the time have only ever known comfort and grew up in the lap of luxury.
Right. Well, I guess while we're on this roll, then since we're the misogynist route tonight.
No, I'm not being misogynist. I mean, it's just usually it's women who talk.
I am. No, I'm kidding. But we've got another female comedian that's going to be the object of our ire here. Chelsea Handler, another good one.
You're using the word comedian very liberally here.
Beat me to it.
Oh no! What would you call Chelsea Handler?
A female. A female, dude. A known woman.
A blonde woman, I think.
Yeah, a woman that we know about.
Well, let's see what her comedic, experience has been up to lately. Okay, let's see a day. This is a day in the life of Chelsea Handler, if a female president gets elected. So let's see how this goes.
Dude.
This is a day in the life of having a female president. I wake up as early as possible, and in honor of our new president, I strap on my coconut bra. I go out to my garage, put a piece of glass on the ceiling, and smash it with a hammer just to remind myself how great things are.
Please don't make us watch all of this. Dude, don't do this to us.
You're not laughing at the coconut bra, the broken lights.
This was written and produced, right? Like this isn't a live stream.
Oh,
multiple
yeah.
layers of QA were allegedly
She
put
has
into this.
staff behind the scenes working.
I
on
love
this.
that all of the Kamala supporters have adopted this like the coconut as like the symbol of their support for
I'm
Kamala
coconut filled, baby.
when it's referencing one of the just like a moment in which Kamala said one of the dumbest statements. Like she when she was just like zanned out and said something really stupid.
It would have been. They should drop the coconut thing and just say that they're Venn diagram pilled. You know, I love a Venn diagram. Just
Yeah.
like Kamala. No, we gotta watch more. Okay, Chelsea's
All
got
right.
more to say. Here.
I text my nieces and tell them not to worry, that a bunch of creepy Republican men aren't keeping a chart of their menstrual cycle. Our Pikachus are protected again.
What?
You've never heard of a woman refer to her vagina as a Pikachu?
I thought it was Christine Weston Chandler, not Christine Weston Handler. What sort of? I think maybe Chris Chan might have been onto something. My universes are merging here, Danny.
Dude, this is so fucking. By the way, where the fuck is this lady bit? But is this like what all she does now? Because anytime I see her now, it's not that she's like doing anything. It's just like a video that she made like in her house.
Well, she used to have this. She used to have her talk show, and then it got canceled, or she stopped doing it, or whatever. And I think that she's just resigned herself to doing bits that she would do for the show. Just like now, she posts them to Instagram.
And she's always like showing off her fucking old lady body.
She thinks she's hot.
Which for a woman who's 70 or however old she is, it's a tight body. It's not bad, but her whole deal, her whole personality and behavior is so grating that it's like, yo, put some fucking clothes on, dude. You're making like titties and butt cheeks and pussy look bad.
You're not turned on. Not turned on at all.
She's in her 40s.
She's gotta be. She's older than.
She looks great.
She's gotta be in her 50s.
Not only to ensure students can safely cross the street, but also to keep an eye out for Matt Gaetz.
Oh my God.
I then go to my book club where we're reading every book banned by Florida. Next, I have a little dance party to my new favorite song, the J.D. Vance I'm a Never Trump Guy. Because I no longer have to worry about my rights being taken away, I decide to take Doug on a quick trip to outer space so he can go for a walk on the moon.
Who is
and don't
being
worry,
made fun
we get
of
there
here?
safely because Elon Musk didn't make our spaceship.
I can't tell whose side she's on.
Here's the. I gotta say that I know very, very little about politics, but
I do, and I don't know what the fuck she's talking about.
I don't know much about politics, but I do think that this is like a dangerous way to think that if just because the person you like gets elected, that there's still not the chance that policy will be enacted that like fucks over your life, because even if the president is a Democrat, which you are, there's still like Republicans and all these other fucking boogeymen that you think about that are in Congress and the Senate and all that the president has to answer to.
All Chelsea Handler has to know is her vagina is safe with Kamala Harris.
Sure. I think like a lot of people, there's like so many people who it just seems like they get caught up in the I don't even the imagery of it, or this like fantasy that's like, oh, a female Democrat president, and I'm like, I don't think that's gonna like change anything. I don't think anything's gonna change. I think you're playing all the hits of like 49-year-old liberal libtard. I don't know what to say. Like,
libtard is correct. If you're watching
suppose
Chelsea Handler's fucking video that we were just watching and you're cracking up like, yeah, girl, you know, I think libtard may be pretty.
Yeah, because like none of that seemed
kidding.
particularly funny, and it was just like
No.
hitting all the beats of like lib memes. Just
Right,
like,
it's
these,
like-
these like beliefs, these fairy tale fucking beliefs these people have. where
It's
it's
the
like,
same. It's the same thing when they post that meme of that lady from like 20 years ago that's screaming that Trump got like,
yeah,
that fucking same image.
it's
of that
also
lady.
it's insulting to fucking everybody when people like her start acting this way, because it's like you're separated from everything. You're
Yeah.
you're too wealthy for any of this to fucking like anything to affect you. So it's like, I guess if you're like to champion the people, maybe, but the shit she's talking about as though anything that could possibly happen will have any effect on her. It's like, no, you've made enough money that you're removed from the repercussions of any administration.
I wonder what 50 Cent has to think about her comedy. I didn't know she used to date that motherfucker.
Oh, she was a bit of a coal burner, yeah.
All right. Well, we'll move on from the women. We'll start objectifying men too. Okay. We'll start, laughing at some guys here a little bit. Okay. Laughed at enough women.
Sure.
Dalton, have you heard of the internet sensation streamer Asmongold?
This has only come across my feed recently. I've seen this name. He's I don't know what he does.
He's just a dirty man that streams video
games.
He's
the guy who had like a messy apartment or something.
That's what we're about to get into. Okay. I want to see if us being, just normal guys. Okay. We had normal guys, I haven't been married forever. I was single at one point, lived by myself. You guys have lived single men lives before. So I just want to I want to see what we all think about Asmongold, the richest single man out there. You know what I'm saying? Here is one from Asmongold 4 years ago or whatever. Not the start of his cleanliness journey, but certainly one of the first red flags here. Asmongold says, found another rat in my house. Took this after relocating him to his new house. When I stream again, I'm thinking about getting a second cam and a hamster cage for all of the bonus pets so we can watch them during the show. So as we go along here, you'll see that Asmongold's kind of shtick is that, yeah, he's a gamer, bro. He likes to, do the 8-hour streams playing Warcraft, but he doesn't have a maid or clean up after himself.
Nice. Cool. Sounds like a dude.
Normal guy. Normal guy.
Like a real guy, dude.
Sounds like a normal guy. Well, that's just the start of it. Okay. That's him throwing out that very first rat that he ever found 4 years ago.
You don't post all the vermin you get rid of your house? I do that all the time. Like, hey guys, LOL, killed another mouse.
No, I feel awful because my rats are nasty, but mice are so cute. And when I have to stomp their heads in after they get stuck on the glue trap, I'm like, I don't need to show this to people.
God, yeah, right? Like, imagine taking pictures of it in your trash can, okay?
Yeah.
So here is Drama Alert saying, Asmongold says there might be a dead animal in his dirty house, okay? So here's a picture before we get to his clip. I mean, it's a little dark there, but definitely gamer bro vibes. They've got tons of Polar Pop cups, you've got the fast food bags.
Hell yeah. He's living like a man, dude.
Yeah, I see nothing wrong here. Yeah, right, Kevin?
It's just amazing the things you can keep out of frame. You can just have everything. Because I remember Ryan mentioned it. The first time I ever saw Asmongold was because I think he was streaming during the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, and I did not want to watch that whole thing, but I absolutely wanted to hear the moments of testimony when they got to talk about how she shit in a bed and stuff like that. There were certain moments I wanted to keep up with, and Asmongold was the guy doing it.
Yeah,
and I never would have thought
shitting in the bed,
And I didn't see this coming, dude. I thought he was just doing like a rip-off Penguin Zero thing. I didn't realize how far he was taking that cosplay.
That's what I thought.
Charlie, I'm not cleaning my room.
When I saw a picture of what he looks like, I was like, oh, he's like doing a rip off of another guy I don't like. That moist critical guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And like I'm always
Here's a good clip. Okay, so let's listen to Asmongold explain some of his situation here.
door, and like I'm always in my house, and so I didn't really realize it. I feel like there's at least one dead animal in my house right now. I feel like I'm like 70% sure there's one dead animal in the house right now. And it's been there for a while. But it's been one, yeah. Because a bed, yeah. And so because like there's like mold and shit everywhere too. And
That's crazy, dude.
I feel like I'm gonna clean my house. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like I'm actually gonna clean my house.
This is a man on the brink, okay?
You know what's funny is like this is just how like most guys would live if they weren't trying to get pussy. I've thought this, like if it were not for the threat of getting no pussy, the way a man would live would be very bare bones and kind of gross.
Yeah.
Like you see those pictures every now and then of like a mattress on the floor and a TV and a PlayStation and like a box of Little Caesars next to it. And I'm like, yeah, that's the fucking life, dude.
Rate my setup.
Yeah, it's
Clearly you haven't lived.
Yeah, it's all you bitches are robbing that from us by being like, you have to have a bed frame and decorations and a clean living space. I'm like, I don't want that. But I guess I have to have that if I am to have sex with a woman.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't get away with the pizza boxes on the ground or whatever being married.
Dude, I lived the times of my life where I've just done mattress on the floor, like very minimal, like living. I am like, dude, I'm happy with this. I'm perfectly. This is awesome. I feel like a samurai. I don't know. I don't understand why I need the bed frame or need a bunch of shit in my living quarters.
Right.
Dude, just the things I need, and then during my during my day, I'm out, on adventures, and I come home and I got a bed, I got a mattress, I got a TV.
That's all you need.
Yeah, so, and I got a Little Caesars $5 hot and ready. I'm eating it
Those
on the
were the
mattress. Yeah.
I mean, Asmongold knows exactly what you're talking about here. Here is Dexerto saying, quote from Asmongold, if Stellar Blade is an 8, this is a 10, and I think Stellar Blade is a phenomenal game. Asmongold was blown away with Black Myth Wukong and revealed why it deserves Game of the Year. David Goldfarb here says, isn't this the guy whose house is full of cockroaches? And Asmongold replies with this.
Jesus Christ. Now, that may be one toke over the line, dude. That's, yeah, clean that up, dude. If this guy's making anywhere close to the money that these streamers make, just get a fucking maid, dude.
He's one of the most famous Twitch streamers that there is.
Yeah, just hire a Guatemalan to clean this. What are you doing, man?
I was telling Kevin there's like scorpions crawling around in this.
Yeah, there's like that spider looks like it's getting ready to brandish the steak knife, and it's like this is my area of the house now. Dime store Charlie. My God, dude.
It's not just cockroaches anymore, baby.
This is like something out of It. Like when the blood's coming out of the sink, but somehow worse.
Yeah, this is like the fucking the house in Resident Evil 7.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You don't know
there we go. Some layers
next.
of fear shit right there. Just like, oh my God, where's the rotten fruit coming out of the walls?
And then even like, yeah, his house situation is pretty gross. But it's also funny to watch Asmongold try to do normal people things. Okay, so like, we can kind of relate to the cleanliness thing. It's like, yeah, if I was a single guy, whatever, maybe I'd have a couple pizza boxes. Maybe not the scorpions in the sink.
Man's got to know his limitations.
But But here is Asmongold just trying to drink some Fiji water. What do you think?
Oh, never touch the stuff. What? There's a lot of A1 steak sauce in his office. I just noticed that. Like, that's a lot.
This is like, this is like a sensory overload looking at this room. There's like way too much shit.
He says, who drinks this shit with the Fiji water?
Now, in his to play devil's advocate here, in his defense,
okay,
because I got family members like this who just refuse to drink water. Like they only ever drink like Coke Zero or Diet Right, or some shitty
Diet Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there's a throwback.
Yeah, or they have like a big like 7-Eleven mug that they fill up at the fountain, and they never drink water. And they even say things like, "I think water tastes gross." And so they're referring to just regular tap water or spring water. So if your default setting is that just water is gross, then Fiji is going to be that's too much for you to handle, because Fiji does have a distinct flavor and what do they call it, mouthfeel, that takes some it takes some adjusting if you're not accustomed to that.
I guess you're right. Like a guy that has 4 bottles of A1 steak sauce and a bag of potting soil in his room.
Yeah,
maybe not into Fiji water.
Yeah, Fiji is a very good mineral water, and how you can tell that it's actually what it says on the label, that it's a mineral water, is you taste it. It has a distinct flavor. Like you can taste like the minerals in it, and you can feel it in your mouth. Like it feels different in your mouth than other water. And so if the only liquids you ever consume are like sodas and juices and shit, then this is going to be, an unsavory experience for you, trying to drink something that's actually very healthy and good for you.
I love the idea of drinking Fiji water and then washing it down with a Polar Pop.
Yeah. I love Fiji's great. I think it's one of the better mineral waters that's out there.
Well, good. I'm glad somebody's speaking out against Asmongold here. This fucker,
Yeah, and I love soda, but you gotta drink water. It doesn't have to be Fiji. Just tap. Maybe not his tap water. Maybe he should probably stick with bottled water until he cleans up. But even tap water is great. Just make sure you stay hydrated.
Exactly. People need to drink. People don't understand the importance of water. Okay?
Dude, we talked about this off mic. Like I'll forget to drink water. Like, because I come from a long line of trash. And so as I've said, a lot of people in my family are only drinking sodas. And I can get caught in that trap, like where I'm mostly drinking like Coke Zero throughout the day. And then like I'm at work, I'll be at work and it'll be like 3:00 and I'm like, man, I feel like dog shit. And then I'll drink a glass of water and I can like feel my spirits return to me. And I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I'm just like severely dehydrated. I'm not drinking enough water.
And I mean, it goes on with Asmongold here. Okay, so you can think of all that. He doesn't like water. He only likes Polar Pops. He doesn't clean his house, so he doesn't waste money on maids or anything. So when Dexerto posts this, I honestly believe that this is true. Asmongold claims he only spends 1% of what he makes.
That's smart money management, dude. He's living below his means.
I think he can afford to go up to 2% for 1 quarter and just go ahead and pay to get somebody else to get all those knife wielding spiders and scorpions out of your house, and then go back to saving your money after that.
Oh,
because I've always lived above my means. Like I've always been very foolish with money, and I'm paying for that now. I'm suffering the consequences of that. So it's it's very smart. Like maybe just if you're not going to clean, you don't want to get a maid. The best financial solution, I guess, is to live in a fucking pigsty.
I mean, it's so wild when we caught the back half of that clip where he is like, yeah, I never leave the house so I don't notice it. He's talking about the smell of a dead animal. And I'm just like, yeah, no, I mean, nose blindness is a thing. So, I mean, I guess if
I've
you're at that
had
point,
it.
yeah.
I used to live in an apartment that was like very cheap because it was a shit hole. It was in a bad neighborhood and it was a slum and there was like just a horrible rat problem. And I never know. People would come over and be like, "What the fuck is that smell?" And I'd be like, oh, "I guess that's the rats." I guess I don't notice it anymore.
Yeah, dude, you can just get kind of accustomed to it. Like when back when I was a smoker, you know, it would take somebody else to come in and be like, God damn,
Yeah,
it doesn't smell great in here, you know. But
yeah, we're very adaptable as humans. We can adapt easily to whatever environment we're in.
Man, Dalton, we had a whole fucking Bill Maher segment too planned, and I won't get into the whole thing because we're at the end of the 2-hour fucking show here as per usual. So, we got to get out of here at a reasonable time, but I figure we can laugh at one Bill Maher thing before we get out of here.
Bill Maher.
I love Bill Maher too, and like, it's one thing that he had his show. It's one thing with real time or whatever. It's like he has to act a certain way and he has to be like a showman and like the host or whatever there. So it's a little different vibes, but on Club Random, dude.
He found his true calling with Club Random. This is his masterpiece is Club Random.
Right. I mean, nothing's better than him being able to just get drunk and high as fuck and interview people. I mean, that's his environment.
There's nothing better than a guy who is like astronomically uncool and not smart trying to be those things. trying to be cool and smart.
And young, kind of. Well, I guess that goes with the cool.
But, and in doing so, just revealing what a just idiot cornball he is. That he's dumb as shit. He's not particularly thoughtful, and he's the least cool guy of all time. But he thinks he's the shit. He thinks he's fucking the Fonz.
Yeah, he's got his own quote on the wall in his studio. He got a neon sign made of his own quote, and it's like I can't remember what it says, but then it's like it's Bill Maher, blah blah blah. It's like, dude, you quoted yourself, you Wayne Gretzky'd yourself, and put it on your own wall. That's how fucking cool he is.
It reminds me of the comedy Mothership or whatever, where Rogan has all the legendary fucking albums up on the wall.
There's a picture of Rogan.
And then there's his fucking stand up next to it. It's like, yeah, you're going to put yourself next to fucking Carlin and whoever else,
The charlatan that trained Ronda Rousey did that. There was a mural. There were only 2 boxers in his gym. One was Muhammad Ali. The other one was him. And
sometimes I feel like the best thing that could have happened to Louis C.K. was getting accused of rape, because now his actual work, his actual work is preserved, and like the integrity of it. Because like you look at Louis' career now, he'll tour, he'll put out a dynamite special, and then he disappears. He's gone. He's not trying to be like in the public eye as much. And I respect that. And I don't know if he would be that way if he not lost everything or lost so much favor with the public by being accused of whatever, some rape adjacent crimes.
Jerking off in front of ladies.
Yeah, jerking off in front of ladies, yeah.
That's interesting to think about. Yeah. I don't know, but
yeah.
Let me show you this. We had tons, like I had the whole Bella Thorne clip lined up, which is always good. Take a penis, leave a penis. That's one of me and
Well,
Kevin.
did you see the one where he was talking to those kids and they said
I've got that right here for you.
He's drinking tequila, talking to kids. But one minute you're looking at the rain, and next thing, Stormy Daniels. Now you're into porn, and even the kids are like, "That's not how the fucking internet works."
Let's pull it up right here.
Penis, take a penis. If you have a penis, give a penis.
What?
You like that little Bill soundbite?
Yeah.
You've got that one, which is my favorite Bill one. Let me play it again.
If you need a penis, take a penis. If you have a penis, give a penis.
And then you've got Quentin's first guest appearance on Club Random, where he says,
"You couldn't say shit if you had a mouthful."
So we've got a couple good Bill Maher Club Random clips, but here is 68-year-old Bill Maher asking 2 Gentile children about porn.
Nice.
You're interested in like climate change, so you start looking on that. That's a big issue. I mean, your kids are worried about it for a good reason. Okay, climate. It leads you to weather. Then you're looking up stuff about the weather. Then it leads you to Stormy Daniels. All right, now you're into porn. Now you're into porn. What do you do?
This is like a Wonder Shows and sketch.
Start looking on that. That's a big
Like
this feels like the thing your substitute teacher would show you in health class in middle school, like the dangers of porn. And it's like little Johnny's just looking into weather into different cycles of the weather, and wouldn't you know it, he types the wrong word, and now he's addicted to porn.
The little Asian girl looks like she's about to cry.
He's like, this dude's never been on the internet before. Why is he trying to teach me things?
She looks seriously scared. Like,
why? Yeah, how could he possibly? I get that he never had kids, but come on, how could you possibly think this is appropriate?
Well, and look, like me and Kevin noticed this while we were watching. Is it in this clip? Yeah. Oh no, it's not in this clip. It's in the other one that we had watched, but in some of the shots, you can see here where his cup is and like this permanent marker down here on this little table. In some of the shots, he has a full bottle of vodka sitting there.
Yeah. And I love that I guess this is his couch, that it has the same upholstery as a bounce house. It's like
that's how he gets them in.
He's like, ooh, in the club, it's so random. We even got to have random colors on the couch cushions. It'll be goofy. It's like, what the fuck? I never stopped to look at it. He's got like a leopard print table behind him, but the leopard print is green. Like, what are we doing here? Who decorated this? Austin Powers?
Yeah, that reminds me of, but he's doing it sincerely. But did you guys ever watch the MTV show Wonder Shows?
Yeah, with like the puppets and shit.
Yeah, it reminds me of that because like the conceit of that show was that it was a kid show, but it was put like the kids were doing like it was like a very funny show where the kids were in like these weird adult situations. Nothing sexual.
Right, but they might not understand the joke.
Yeah, where like there was like one that was really funny where this little girl was out on Wall Street doing like man on the street interviews. And she has this one guy who works on Wall Street. She goes, "Where will you hide when the revolution happens?" It's like a 6-year-old girl. And so like watching Bill Maher talk to kids about porn it reminds me of that, but it's just completely misguided. Like he's actually being sincere. It's like completely misguided.
Right. There's no joke or whatever.
But like inadvertently is as like if you were to do that on purpose would be brilliant. If that was a sketch, it'd be like, oh, this is very funny. But to see Bill Maher actually try to endear himself to children that way is like, what are you doing, dude?
He's been missing the point like that a lot. He had the Hawk Tua lady on.
I saw that.
Yeah, you saw him try to convince her to do a sex ed podcast, but he's like, but we got to be serious. There are some serious issues we got to tackle. Like, dude, you're talking
he's
to
like,
a
you could
human
be
meme. And
you
you
could
want
be Sue Johansson, okay?
Like,
you could be
what?
that old lady just having her fucking late night show talking about serious sex issues on my channel.
Dude, the one that made me fall out laughing was most recent one where he had Quentin Tarantino back on, and Tarantino was telling him how much he loves the first 3 Toy Story movies.
Should we watch it? Do you want to watch the clip? I have it.
Yeah, because the question Bill Maher asked him at the end of this very passionate spiel about Toy Story is just like one of the funniest moments I've ever seen from this guy.
So we'll end on this, folks. So don't worry. We won't
look, he's got that. Quentin's using what's his name, Hans Landa's pipe from Inglourious Basterds.
Yeah,
I love that. That.
All right, let's listen to what they have to say about Toy Story. Okay, the best trilogy ever.
But I'm a big fan, and I don't watch all the animated movies and stuff, but I am a big fan of the Toy Story trilogy. I think that
I'm agnostic, never saw it.
I think there's only one trilogy that completely and utterly works to the nth degree, and that's Fistful of Dollars for a Few Dollars More and The Good and the Bad and the Ugly.
That's a trilogy?
Yeah. So yeah. Well,
those are all the same character.
Yeah.
It's the Man with No Name.
The Man with No Name. Yeah.
Right. Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And
Bill.
so it's like it's one director vision. So
You think he never saw a fucking movie?
I
didn't
didn't know that. Dude, I was 8 years old.
He never has any clue what he's talking about with anybody. He doesn't know anything.
Like Bill was alive and around when those movies were coming out. He's like, "Oh, really? Those are movies? Oh shit! Was Clint Eastwood in those?"
Yo, just wait for his follow up to this Toy Story, thing that Quentin says. It's so goddamn funny, dude.
Giuliani through all 3
So
movies.
that's the spaghetti western.
Yes. But
Jesus.
the thing about it is, it does what no other trilogy has ever been quite able to do. The first movie is terrific, but the second movie is so great and takes the whole idea for a few dollars more is so great and takes the whole idea to such a bigger canvas that it obliterates the first one.
Wow.
And then the third one, Good and the Bad and the Ugly, does the
Wow.
same thing to the second one. And that's kind of what never happens. You'll see this big jump from the first to the second, and they don't really land the third one.
Right.
Mad Max, Road Warrior, and Beyond Thunderdome doesn't dwarf Road Warrior.
Kevin, what do you think? You're a Mad Max guy. You agree with that?
I do agree with that. I mean, Mad Max 3 is Thunderdome's just a different beast. You know?
Yeah,
It's
Thunderdome
really
was
different
fun. Thunderdome was fun, but it's like such a departure. People forget the second half of Thunderdome is also the movie Hook.
Yeah, it's exactly.
It's the movie Thunderdome really is not that much about the Thunderdome. That's not
like Act 1.
Yeah, that's like Act 1, and then he leaves wherever the Thunderdome is and goes to like some oasis and meets a bunch of kids, and then it turns into he meets a civilization of like children who are trying to like figure out how to rebuild their lives or whatever.
And they think he's their missing captain, or like all the adults left a long time ago and abandoned him. So he's like there. It's like when the Ewoks see C-3PO, they're like, holy shit, this dude's God.
It turns into like a fantasy adventure movie. Like it's totally different tonally. But then, how like 30 years later, Fury Road comes out and eclipses all of them.
I mean, that's true.
And Furiosa is even awesome. Furiosa is amazing.
Loved it.
Didn't
get enough eyes on it. Damn shame.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I thought it was as good as Fury Road.
Well, that's interesting. I'll have to go check it out then. Furiosa, people. Pretty good. But wait, let's hear about Toy Story.
All right.
But in the case of Toy Story, the third one is just magnificent. It's one of the best movies I've ever seen. And if you've seen the other two, then it's devastating.
Is it a cartoon?
Yeah. Well,
Is it a cartoon?
He started that. What am I saying?
You're telling me this guy's never seen Toy Story? He doesn't know what the fuck Toy Story is.
Is it a cartoon?
Dude, he was on tilt. At one point, he reaches he grabs his glass, looks at it, and like puts it back down. Like like Bill can't figure out what's going on.
Did
right
you?
now.
Yeah. Did you ever see the thing when Tim Heidecker did that entire interview making fun of Bill Maher?
Yeah, because he did like a whole show. He did like a whole show.
Tim
like a Club
Heidecker-
random show with Fred Armisen, where
Yeah,
he had him
he-
like interviewed, and he acted like he was doing Club Random.
Yes, it's so fun. It's something he like highlights on in that is how often Bill Maher is just like fidgeting around with all the shit that he's got on the table. He's just constantly like, picking shit up and moving things around, and just like as he's talking to someone, just making a fucking ruckus.
He's over here stimming hardcore.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta.
Oh man!
Somebody get me a goddamn spinner or a fidget spinner. Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, I get Bill Maher's really coming to his own lately because now I never liked Real Time. I always thought it was pretty obnoxious. I never liked the atheist shit that he's always done. That's also annoying.
You weren't a religious guy when you were when that came out.
No.
I thought I was so cool. I was like, dude, have you guys seen Religious? Like, fuck Jesus, dude. Seriously.
I had, I had the couple years where I flirted with atheism, and then I realized now I have to find God again. I can't, because whoever these people are more annoying than anyone I ever met in a church.
I mean, you might be right. I kind of just stay away from both.
Yeah, I guess so. But I think I do a Bible study show every Saturday, and we have a good time. And I found a much better community of people through, God or the Bible or whatever you want to call it than ever being like a Reddit atheist or whatever, the Bill Maher type of snarky, smarmy prick about it.
You could only get the worst kind of people from that, what I'm saying? You get like, if that's the kind of audience you attract, you're gonna get actually comments.
Because the thing, like, I'm skeptical, like I'm doubtful of everything. And so, like, if I read the Bible or study any of this, I am always like very questioning all of it. But also, it's I suppose I have some belief, but I'm willing to, get like what's the word I'm looking for? Relinquish myself in knowing, like, I don't really know. There's no way to know any of this. Yep. And so, with like the Bill Maher types, it always seemed very I don't know. It was obnoxious to me the way he comes across as like, but I actually do know. Like, beyond a shadow of a doubt, I am certain of what I'm saying. And I'm like, well, this is just as dogmatic as any religion. So, but also somehow more annoying.
He's still kind of that way. It's just like he's less about the God stuff and more about just everything. He's like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, but Club Random is a work of art because every time it's the most stilted, just bizarre interview, and Bill Maher, like, only because there's less production to it than Real Time. It allows Bill Maher to reveal how little he knows about anything.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't know he has no clue what he's talking about most of the time.
He doesn't have a stack full of, Alex Jones printed off paper when he's doing Club Random like he does on Real Time. Like Real Time, he's got like, there's a crew of writers back there that are writing every fucking new rule or whatever he does.
Real Time, Bill Maher is just the vessel for the hundreds of people that work on that show. He's the face of it. But then Club Random is pure, unfiltered, unadulterated Bill Maher, which is just a dumb guy, which is just like a fucking idiot who's not only stupid but thinks he's really smart, but also is not particularly curious or thoughtful about anything.
Which is honestly funnier than any stand-up he's ever done.
Yeah. It's very fun. It's funny to watch. and it's funny in all the ways that he's not trying for it to be.
It's like Tommy Wiseau's The Room if it were a
Yes.
podcast, where it's like part of the effort and like it's genuine, and he like, oh, isn't that cute? He doesn't realize we're laughing at him is like part of the charm.
Because you could tell by like just watching his mannerisms that he he's got the joint, he's got the cocktails or the whiskey or whatever. Like all of his behavior, you could tell that he thinks he's being very cool and suave. When from like my side of it, watching him, like this guy is just a cornball. He's such a dunce, and that's let's just let him keep believing that he's the coolest guy in the room, so that we keep getting nice great moments. Like, is it a cartoon? To Toy Story.
I'm just crossing my fingers that he gets this hoc toi. You're hoc toiing me apart. I hope he gets this hoc toi fucking sex Sue Johansson show on his network. Dude.
I did recently rewatch the Seth MacFarlane Western that he made, A Million Ways to Die in the West.
Okay.
And Bill Maher is not a good movie, but it's fun. I like it. But Bill Maher has a very funny scene in that movie where
Bill Maher.
Yes, because it's they're having some gathering, there's some shindig going, a hootenanny happening, and Bill Maher is this is the Old West, and Bill Maher is doing stand up to open it, and so he's doing like a hacky 80s stand up, but in the Old West. So he's like, "You guys seen this telegram? This thing is nuts." He's like, "Yeah, it's faster than the Pony Express, but what good is it if you can't send a picture of your dick?" And then he goes, "Hey, folks, I'm getting the lantern. Be sure to tip your wait staff." I'm getting the lantern. So it's a funny.
I'm gonna have to watch that movie. I guess that was one of those.
It has some, because I like Seth MacFarlane. I think he's very funny, and Family Guy has brought me just so much joy over the years. And so the movie has like strokes of brilliance, like where it's very funny. Overall, not a good movie, but there's some great moments in it.
I can't say I'm surprised at that. Maybe, you know what, Kevin? Maybe sometime you need to invite Dalton on Dweeb, and we watch Seth MacFarlane's movie and talk about that.
Yeah. Now I'll say
put that on the list for deep dives. Let's go.
Ted and Ted 2 masterpieces. Those are great. I enjoyed both of those immensely.
Well, fuck, man. It's been a great 2 hours, over 2 hours. Thank you, Dalton, so much for being with us. I mean, shit, dude. We love having you on. We'd love to fucking shoot the shit more in the future. So if you ever want to come on Dweeb, or you need a guest to fucking hold you over for the week or something, hit me and Kevin up. We would love to hang and talk some more shit.
Of course. Yeah.
Thanks so much for coming on. We appreciate you all for being here tonight. We went a little over, so I'm not going to go through and do the usual chat, yelling at everybody, but we appreciate you.
Did you guys get any super chats? No super chats during this?
No super chats tonight. No.
You gotta get this shit monetized, dude. You need to turn this into all super chats.
We're monetized enough to where they can send super chats, but I don't expect them to.
No, dude, we make it very apparent on our shows. It's like, hey, cough it up, dude.
I need to be more. You're saying I need to be more direct, huh? We've got enough people here.
You need to learn sales, man. You gotta learn how to do sales and be. Because we actually make decent money on super chats. Like, surprisingly, when we started the Crowder Boys channel, because I'd been doing it on my channel for a minute, and then when we got the Crowder Boys channel monetized, we were like, "Oh, this is actually this is decent, pretty good money for where we're at."
I feel like ours either I feel like ours either we've got our supporters on Patreon, they're like regulars, and then like our regulars that want to tune in for our paid stuff on YouTube. And then whenever we get super chats, it's like we'll get $1 here and there from somebody that's being nice, and then we'll get some platinum subscriber that'll donate 20 like 5 times.
Yeah.
Somebody you just know they're gonna look at their credit card report tomorrow and be like, "What the fuck did I do?"
Yeah,
Why?
I did there was one night I was doing a stream one night where this is on my corn-fed channel, where this guy like 3 or 4 different times in the night would dropped $100 in there. And I was like, he must be coked out or something. This is crazy.
We were going one night and I don't know. I guess fucking somebody got a hair up their ass and was fucking donating a couple. And then it turned into donation wars. So, I mean, this was like right after we got monetized. It probably was soon after you had been on the show, actually.
It's a great career, digital panhandling. Just begging people for money on the internet is nice.
Yeah.
You don't have to stand on the side of the highway. You
Yeah.
do it from home.
Yeah, you just fire up the webcam and be like, "All right, guys, I'm back.
Nope.
Let's get the super chats going."
You can pull a King Cobra. I saw one of those, Danny, a couple days ago. King Cobra got online. He said, "Guys, my account is $500 in the negative. I can't do any more food hacks or drink combos until I get out of the negative. So I decided I'd do a stream." So one person donated $500, and he's like, "All right, cool, guys. Well, I appreciate you." I said I was only going to stream for an hour, and he just like jumped right off as soon as I was I was like, "God damn, dude, this guy is fleecing people from his trailer in Wyoming." He's just like, "That's right, bitch, pay my bills."
That's where we need some pointers, I think, is you need to hit up somebody like that, or just have somebody like Dalton on the regular that can be like, "Hey, people."
Yeah, you just have to have like no shame or reservations about just asking people for money, which I think most people are raised to think that's pretty bad to do. You should never just ask people for money, but hey, that's the job, baby. That's the job of podcasting.
That's how we make money over here, motherfuckers.
Yeah, I post every day. I make sure I post at least like, "Hey, subscribe to the YouTube channel," and then another post for the Patreon, just every day, so it's constantly out there. Why wouldn't I? If I got like close to 10,000 people follow me on Twitter, I need those eyes to be reminded every day.
Hey, I mean, that's not. I'm sure that seems like it works out, doesn't it?
Yeah. A, always BB, P, posting.
That's right. That's right. All right, people. Well, we appreciate you for tuning in, hanging out with us for this long. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being members. We have a members stream later in the week, some TCAP bingo. If you want to tune in to us looking at some predators and playing games on their dancing on their graves, I guess. We got a little bit of that later in the week. We thank you again, Dalton, for coming on. We'd love to have you back.
Yes, thanks for having me on. I should have you guys on Corn-Fed sometime.
Oh, we would love that. Yeah, just
you guys will love Sal.
Just let us know. I mean, I've already watched enough of you in my own time that I think I could get along with Sal. He's a pretty good guy.
He runs the show there. He's the star.
I think it'd be a lot of fun on there. And yeah, you'll be seeing me, like I said, in the chat for the next Bible study. I'm getting caught up now.
The Bible study is fun because I think people think I'm either doing some ironic thing or that it's just boring Bible study, but it's like turned into a cool thing where it is centered on the Bible, but it's very, it's nice. There's a lot of variety happening. And I do make sure that we read some Bible verses.
I would say the super chats got fun in the last one where they were super chatting with Bible verses they wanted you guys to read. A lot of semen involved.
Yeah, well, that's how the show. That's how the show started. I think I was doing a stream one day and just randomly, because I have this Bible on my desk. I just was like, let's dip into the Bible real quick. just for no reason and read a Bible verse, and then people start super chatting Bible verses they want me to read. So I was like, wait, could I do like a Joel Osteen like stream? Could I just start streaming and getting paid to read the Bible?
Wow, I didn't even think about that. That's practically what you're a televangelist.
Yeah, I'm a stream evangelist.
Beautiful.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, well, go check out Dalton over at Corn-Fed Pod with Dalton Pruitt, the Crowder Boys, Dalton Lee Pruitt on Twitter. You know where to find us. Go check out Dweeb, Bite Size, Carnage Media, all of that. We will be back on Sunday. Well, no, we'll be back on Friday with the members only. Sunday with the morning show. You know where to find us, people. Thank you so much again. We will catch you on the flip side. Peace, people. Psalms, what is that? Psalms 137:9. We'll have to figure out which one that
Tune
is.
in this Saturday, dude. Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern.
There you go. There you go. Sleek. Jump in there and drop your Psalms 137:9, and Dalton will get to reading. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But until then, folks, peace out. See you next time. Later.